Ooh, awesome. I'm officially live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if it feels like I'm doing this, it's because I can only get my handheld device on this corner. And yeah, I've got the computer screen for Facebook and YouTube and whatnot. Uh, and if you want to comment on Facebook or YouTube, there's actually like a link that you click on so that I can actually see who you are, so I can respond to you by name. But yeah, let's get started. So this is Fearless Singer Daily, bite-sized coaching, and yeah, we're going to cover things like voice, mindset, also business for singers as well. But most of it's going to be pretty much geared towards voice and mindset. However, if any questions come up around business or branding for singers or musicians, please fire questions at me. So this is a space where you can pretty much ask me anything within reason. Nothing too personal, please. But and look, if I don't know the answer to your question, I will find out and I will let you know. So let's get started. Actually, I want to kind of repeat what I did yesterday for a live. Repeat some of the learnings because I think they are super powerful, and it's one of those things that I think has definitely changed my life in terms of my own vocal practice, and I want to reinforce this message to you. And I know you've probably heard it a million times before, but it's worth repeating again that when we are, um, showing up to develop some kind of skill, really consistency is key. And the trick is that we want to try and keep things super small and super simple, and we want to incrementally build upon those successes. So, and this is what I teach because, I'm not a teacher that I call homework soul work, for instance. But I teach that shame, the emotion of shame or guilt around, not having done the things, is counterproductive to what we want to achieve. So we want to diminish that completely by just starting small, developing just a tiny ritual, a tiny habit that can grow momentum, so it can grow legs over time. And I also want to reinforce this idea of when it comes to showing up for our voice. It's really powerful whether you're a singer or not, because our voice is our vehicle for our self-expression. It's what transmits our essence, our beauty out into the world. We are like these tiny meat sacks full of these, stories and riches, and it's our voice that transmits that to everybody else. And when we show up for our voice, like the same way we'd show up, for our body in an exercise capacity. So showing up every day to go for your walk or going to the gym, that is going to have a phenomenal effect. You spending time with your voice. And, and we can just do it by just starting with small little vocalizing gestures. And I'm going to take you through, I'm going to give you one vocal exercise that you can do daily that, again, it's just like a nice little stretch for your vocal folds. And also, we're going to talk about postural alignment and postural alignment for singing, but also postural alignment for, life and holding ourselves with confidence. So coming back to that. Showing up for your voice is powerful whether you're a singer or not. And the second thing is showing up for your voice and doing one tiny little daily practice. If you are an aspiring singer, that is creating and consolidating that identity of I am a singer. I remember when there was a time that, I grew up always singing, so I was always on a stage somewhere. And then there was a time in my sort of early 20s where I wasn't. And I lost that identity. And it did, when you've got that deep yearning inside of you to, to sing and to create, that felt awful. It was Yeah, so I had to gradually find my way back by just doing singing lessons. I started doing piano lessons, and then once I went overseas, I came back home, and then I enrolled in university to do a Bachelor of Music. Now, music studies isn't going to be everybody's gateway into this. If you are an aspiring singer, you can carve your own path, but just start somewhere small. Start by showing up for your voice. Cool. All right. That's my spiel. That's the coaching side of things. I'm just going to take you through a little practice. It's actually from this incredible resource. This is a Voice by Jeremy Fisher and Gillian Kays. So this is a rebalancing exercise. It's always good to do this before you begin any kind of vocalizing because, we wake up a bit funny, our posture's a bit of out of whack. We've probably been sitting at the computer for way too long or on our lowrider. Anyone from the 80s? No? Okay, great. So it's good to recheck in with our posture. And this rebalancing exercise is beautiful. It feels so grounding and it reinforces that connection to the ground and the floor. And we're just going to start with our feet in line with our shoulders or hip bone width apart. So finding that. And then I always like to have soft knees, and you might want to just do like a little bounce just to reinforce that little bounce or reinforce that feeling. And now we're just going to imagine that there's this imaginary wall, and we're going to shift our balance forward without moving our feet. So leaning Tower of Pisa. That's it. And try and keep your whole body still in alignment as you come forward. As much as you can, bend your knees. And then we're going to now shift our balance back. Whoa. And then we're going to come back into the center and we're going to shift our balance to the outside edges of our feet without lifting up our inner feet. We're just feeling where we're just going to press those outside edges of our feet to the floor. And like we're going to lift up our inner feet. That's it. And now we're going to now do the same thing with our inner layers of our feet. So just pressing that to the floor. And now we're just going to come up on our tippy toes, just gently raising our heels. And we're holding these positions for about 5 seconds each. And we're just going to come back down and we're going to lift our big toes up. And if that's tricky to isolate your big toes, think of the other toes pushing into the floor while you're lifting up your big toes. And then relax and squidge your knees again. And so you should feel, no, I'm not going to tell you what you should feel. How do you feel? Please feel free to leave comments. And also, if you're watching this in the future with a replay, hashtag replay so I know that you are, and feel free to still ask questions. Cool. So it'd be interesting to hear what you think about that feeling on the floor, but it is different. Cool. All right. So look, hopefully this is excellent postural alignment. And in order to make a beautiful, rich, authentic sound, posture is key. And also, just from a confidence point of view, just whether you're a singer or a performer or not, holding yourself in this position just gives you that sense of one, feeling grounded, and two, just feeling like, well, in your body, but yeah, like you're confident. So just that's another thing to do too, just to be aware of. This work, voice work, body work, is just an invitation to be aware of what your body is doing and how are you holding yourself. Okay, so that's excellent postural alignment. You can also use the wall, is always a really good, is a good support there for posture. Cool. All right, so we're now just going to do, yesterday, if you want to check out the video from yesterday, we did some vocal fricatives. They're a really good place to start before doing any kind of exercises. And actually, we'll do it again. So I'm just going to get you to put hand on your waistband. So biological females, we're just going to put thumb in the belly button, finger here. I'm just going to move way back so you can see, so it laps. Biological males, finger in the belly button and thumb here, so you feel it a little bit differently. And we're just going to make some gentle fricative noises. And the whole idea or purpose of this is we're really just gently releasing any excess tension in the vocal muscles before we start actually committing to putting any notes on top of it. So we're just going to do call and response and just really gentle and relaxed with the sound. Like you're about to pass out. I'm just joking. Please don't pass out. And don't do this. So it's and then you go. So that was an S. Shh. SH. TH. F. GZ. Z. V. TH. Puffy cheeks. Now, if you'd like to get access to that particular exercise, I have it for free on my website. So if you go to fearlesssinger.com and go to free voice, you can get that as a little downloadable course, and then you'll have that exercise on there. And also you have a whole bunch of exercises that you can do and use for a daily routine. So please get that. It's such an invaluable resource. And yeah, it's free, and you can download a Kajabi app onto your phone and then literally just have it there. So it's easy access, and you can do some vocalizing. You can show up for your voice. So please, check out that exercise. And I also give way more of an explanation around it. However, just know that it is just a gentle way of activating the voice before we go to do any kind of singing. All right, so now this time we're just going to do a 1-3-1 on a slide. Little slide, and we're just going to do it on a puffy cheeks W. We did this yesterday, so I'm repeating it again because it's worth it. So we're just going to do a... So you're puffing your cheeks out, and you've got a little bit of air build up behind the lips and a tiny little gap for the air to come out. It's quite a muffled sound. It's not meant to be like a big sound. And what it actually does is it's gently, again, not massaging, that's the wrong word, but it's opening up the vocal tract. So so you've got a nice little gentle engagement, nice little stretch here. And also you feel like a sense of back pressure as well behind the vocal folds. So yeah, it's a lovely one. And you're also activating the big kahuna transverse abdominis muscle, which is the one that we want to be working for us in our breathing for singing. So I'm just going to play an octave lower as well for our baritones and our tenors. So we're just going to do a... just did a lovely, gentle little stretch of the voice, and if you just did that every day and you showed up for your voice, it's one of those, like I said, those little incremental success measures. You keep doing that, it's almost like a gateway drug into doing more singing. And I just want to also reinforce, this idea of you don't have to be a singer to benefit from singing. Even just putting on a track and singing along, what it's going to do, it's also, if you've ever been accused of being monotone, if anyone said that to you, well, they're an asshole. But, or if you've identified that, no, actually, I've got quite a samey sounding voice all the way through, actually doing a little bit of singing every day is going to help with bringing in some more colors into your voice. You'll start to notice that there's more of a prosody, a bit of a sing-song nature of your speaking voice. So just doing that every day is going to be so helpful, particularly if you do a lot of presenting or speaking as part of your job or training. It's going to be good. So just putting on your favorite track and just doing that every day. And not only that, you're going to get a big dose of dopamine as well, because singing does release that feel-good hormone into the body. So that's just a couple of things. And two, if you can just say that you've done one exercise and you've shown up for your voice, that's huge, because like I said, there's going to be a momentum. You're going to start enjoying it, and you'll be seeking out, okay, well, what's some other exercises that I can do? What more can I do? And I'd love to, again, just let you know about that free resource on my website, Free Your Voice. It's a daily routine, 10 minutes. Please be my guest, have that. I'm going to repackage all my free content up into like a voice kit page for that. The other thing too, I just wanted to alert you to, in terms of just that, that idea of the stacking, the stacking of successes, is this, it comes from Atomic Habits. Nothing that I'm talking about is my own work. This is stuff that I've accumulated from the best people there are when it comes to performance psychology and pedagogy. So that's the training for tonight. I know you might think, oh, that's just one exercise. That's not going to make me into Beyonce. If you keep stacking those days, you may be Beyonce one day. I didn't guarantee that. All right, thank you so much for joining me. If you, like I said, if you liked this, please join me again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go live for the next 10 days. This is Fearless Singer Daily, bite-sized coaching. I'm just going to give you some concepts and tools. I'm also going to give you some nervous system reset exercises. We didn't cover that tonight, but we did do some vocal fricative work, which is great for the nervous system. We spoke about postural alignment. This is going to be repeated as well, so little bits and pieces. And we spoke about that idea of building up on those small successes. And if you've shown up for your voice for the day, bloody celebrate it. This is something that we don't do. We go, oh, I just did one exercise. It's nothing. It isn't nothing. It's a huge step towards where you want to go and who you want to be. So well done. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Please check out fearlesssinger.com, Free Your Voice, free resource. And also, if you want to be part of a group coaching container where you can come weekly to a more extensive coaching session like this, so once a week, and also do a 2-hour class once a month, or an hour and a half to 2 hours, but it's also fun. It's fun. And you want to be in part of an incredible community of just wonderful people, beautiful singers, big hearts and souls. So it's like your little cheerleader squad, helping you towards your goals. Please check out fearlesssingerschool.com. And yeah, as soon as you sign up for that, you're part of that container for a whole year from where you start, and you'll get access to all the replays of the classes that we've done since the beginning of the year. All right, so fearlesssinger.com, fearlesssingerschool.com. Talk to you soon. Lots of love.